Well, the word loyalty can be very fickle in the racing industry. Just asked a good mate of mine, Morris Logood, probably should have golden slipper trophies to his wonderful collection, courtesy of Sir Dapper. Could have been, would have been, we don't know, but certainly Morris missed out on a golden opportunity for success in that particular occasion. At Club and Eagle on Saturday night, Jack Trainor will go around once again behind the Kiwi sensation Krug. Jack was certainly deflated after the performance of Krug here last week in the Hondo Grattan. However, a phone call changed all that around. Jack now with me to explain why. Well, Jack, on Saturday night after the running of Krug's event, I saw you 2 races later. You were a lonely, dejected figure in the barn. I saw you after the last. The smile was back on your face. It was all because of a phone call from Cran Dalgety.
Yeah, that's right, Mick. There's no point in sugarcoating it. I was pretty flat after Krug's race. He made an uncharacteristic break, and I pretty much put to be black and white, put the blame on myself. I drove him into a gap that probably was only really half there, and then when I realised that there was going to be another horse there, I checked him hard off, and which he resented, and just sort of threw himself in the air, and obviously he wiped it out to have a chance in that race. So I was pretty flat after that, but like you said, a couple of races later I had a pretty nice text message from the trainer Crandall-Getty on my phone, so I gave him a call, and he instilled a heap more confidence back in me and just said keep my head up and the sun will shine tomorrow and we'll get him next week. So it was probably exactly what I needed to hear at the time, and it's been all good since.
Certainly a great display of loyalty.
Yeah, that's right. Anyone that knows Cran knows he's a loyal bloke. He's a man of his word, and for me it was pretty important too, because obviously the people that do know Cran was where I started, and probably is one of my biggest mentors and probably forever will be. So that's why I was probably so disappointed that it happened like that last week. But to hear that come from Cran and put a bit more confidence in me, I really appreciated it. And hopefully now we've got a second chance at it, we can make amends for it and get him back on track.
Geez, it had everyone scratching their head, including the stewards, everyone trying to work out whether he hit a wheel or not. Sophia Arvidsson looked down, and they even used the zoom lens and still couldn't work it out. Yeah,
they did. I had to answer a few questions in the steward's room, but when they did slow it down and zoomed it right in, which is not always the best thing to have in the steward's room when you're the driver, but they could clearly see that I wasn't near the wheel. I was still right behind, better call me. It was just my actions of pulling my right hand to get him to give Amanda Turnbull and Spring the steps some more room that caused him to make the gallop. So even though things like that can happen in racing and wheels do get hit, we drive horses, not robots, but I can put a line through that and say it was just an overreaction of the way I steered him.
Jack, even the great Sir Donald Bradman made a duck, and then he just went out and made 200 the next start. I suppose that's where you've got to attack this week.
Well, I hope so. We've put it all behind us now. The horse is well, the horse is healthy, safe. So on to the next week, and we've got the good barrier in one, so we're going to make sure we use that.
Does that mean gate one lead throughout and let them chase?
Yep, absolutely.
How do you think he can go into the Chariots of Fire now with week to week?
Yeah, I think so. He's quite a big, solid mare anyway, and I think even if he did make the Chariots of Fire Saturday just been, I think Cran was actually still looking to race him this week anyway, so it hasn't exactly changed his prep for how many times he wants to race him. It just puts a little bit more pressure on that this time we have to get the job done or run first four to make sure we're in the big race. And as far as the cop and the racing and the row, it won't worry him at all.
We saw what a magnificent animal he is last week with that close-up with both you and Carter, and I'm starting to think I might have put the mock on you.
Yeah, well, I'm not lying if I did say your name popped up in my head pretty quick, Mick, but no, that's just part of it. At the end of the day, it was my fault. I've learned from it. The thing is, you've got to learn from it, and I feel like I have. And now we'll just keep it simple. We know we've got the horse there. He's healthy, fit, like I said, so now just full steam ahead.
You got a busy night commencing in race one with Isaac Beach. Tough draw, mixing form, and a bit disappointing last week.
Yeah, he was disappointing last week. I thought he'd go a really good race. I thought he could win, especially if he found the front. I might have just been a bit kind to him over the last 2 weeks. I was trying to get him looking a bit bigger and prettier, and it probably told on him when he come off the track. He blew up right over the back. So I'm going to go back to basics with him and stick the work back into him. But probably this week looks hard from 10, but probably the following couple of weeks he's probably a horse that will step up again.
In race two, Soho Tsunami, in a very tough and competitive race.
Yeah, he is. His form's really good, but he's had a bit of a let-off over Christmas. He's having his first start run, so we'll just drive him on the fence and drive for luck, and again, he'll be improving with more weeks racing.
Over to the third, BKSY is racing extremely well, draws wide, which won't be an over concern, but horse by the name of Be My Rose is in the race.
Yeah, that's right. No, they both went super, Be My Rose and BKSY last week. I spoke to Gav after that race, and we both give ourselves no hope halfway through the race. We were that far off them, and there was no really race tempo. And for them to finish 1-2, I think it showed that they're really serious mares with good speed. And unfortunately, I'm drawn outside it again, so probably look to be tagging it again. But you never know, she might be able to get past it this time.
It's race 5, the Siberia Stage. You've drawn wide, but this time around you're driving a pretty handy mare by the name of Stylish Memphis.
Yeah, that's right. Good to have her back. She's going good. I would have loved to have drawn in close, but again, barrier 9, they're making it a bit tough for me. But she's got such good speed, and she just needs a genuinely run race. She has had 3 weeks between runs now, so I've still been putting a bit of work into her at home, but she's definitely going to need the race fitness. She'll be a lot better going to Ladyship Mile as long as she makes it.
Great race. Antonia back in action, also Majida from the powerful Emma Stewart stable. It's going to be a wonderful race.
Yeah, it will be. It's a really cracking race. There's a few really nice ones in that field, and even the BKSY race, there's a few mares that will probably get a start the following week that all got a case too. So it's turning out to be a really good Ladyship Mile, and just hope that my mare's on song.
Newcomer to the stable from Tasmania via Victoria, B Major Threat, coming off the Devonport Cup, a standing start over 3,200 metres off a 20-metre handicap.
Yeah, he's a really nice big horse. That fella, I've given him a couple of head-outs at home, and he's given me a real nice feel. He is in an awkward grade up where he's sort of just breaking on free-for-all, so probably just pay to watch him this week. But if he does drop back to the 95 or get a good barrier and a lesser free-for-all, he's definitely a horse to follow, because I do have a lot of time for him.
We've spoken about Krug in race 7. We move over to race 9. Sugar Apple, 4 from 4 since joining Jason's stable.
Yeah, he's a cool little horse. Grimo's done a great job with him, so he's aiming for the Derby, which I've managed to get the drive on him for that, so I'm pretty excited for that. Drawn 1, and yeah, he looks like, although he's first up, he looks like he'll give him a real good shape.
Only the 6 runners, but that's a very intriguing race.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of form there, and I suppose probably the whole field are on target to race in the Derby. So yeah, it'll definitely a race where you're going to be able to sort a few out and see where they match up against one another. Over to the last, a very fit and very consistent Mighty Flying Out. Yeah, he's been racing really well actually. I haven't had a drive on him for a while, but it looks to be a little bit of speed on his inside, but he's racing pretty consistent at the moment, so as long as he goes as an honest race, I'll be happy. Jack, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for the very honest report as far as the incident with Krug, and I'll guarantee I'll stay out of your way Saturday night until after Krug's race. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Matt.